holiday experience. Step 2, snap a picture. Step 3, send picture, name and address to the WhatsApp number 0902-588-8888. Hurry! Go grab your Indomie packs now. Offer valid till stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie noodles. Tasty nutrition. Good for you.
The time has come again when we all gather at the Unity Forum to celebrate the uniqueness of our cultural diversity and showcase the beauty of our cultural creativity and ingenuity. It's the National Festival of Arts and Culture, NAFEST, in the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Come, let's celebrate our culture and heritage. Hold it 20th to 27th October 2018. Special features, dance drama, traditional wrestling, indigenous textiles and cuisine, arts and crafts exhibition, entrepreneurship roundtable, skills acquisition, and many more. 20th to 27th October 2018. Be a part of history. It's NAFEST Rivers 2018, the festival that unites the nation. Otumba Olusegun Runshewe, DG National Council for Arts and Culture, announced.
Can't wake me for death. As my matter be, it be like he say, person die, person God can't wake him. Now so Buhari can't wake me from death. But I not get something when they go give her unless thank you. I did get change to make farm. Then he helped me house. The house when I did before, he dey link. Before I born, 5 pikin. You know, I don't get food when I go give them. That's why I share them. But now my pikin they near me. Sunday with me now. No be like before. I happy. I thank you well. I no see her, but God go carry my I do a computer where I dey.
Thanks for staying with the NTA. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to put a stop to the disturbing trend of desperate youths going abroad for greener pastures and make the country livable again. Adamu Samba reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari described as worrisome and counterproductive the illegal exodus to Europe by Nigerians and indeed Africans at grave risk to lives and limbs. He said with the abundant potentials in human and material resources, the federal government will do its very best to explore and exploit such potentials to make the country livable again. He said for Nigeria and Namibia in particular, there are vast opportunities to cooperate in areas like agriculture and trade for enhanced economic well-being for the two countries and their peoples. President Buhari recalled the sacrifices made for the freedom of Namibia by Nigeria in the late 70s. The outgoing High Commissioner of Namibia to Nigeria, Pingon Jabi Shipo, who spent nearly 5 years in the country, said he enjoyed tremendous support and cooperation in carrying out his duties. As he puts it, I am returning home with absolute satisfaction that our two countries are now more than ready for intra-African trade and exchange of state visits by the leaders. Nigeria and Namibia, he said, have a lot in common and wished Nigeria successful elections in 2019. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Total eradication of hunger by the year 2030 is the focus of this year's World Food Day, set aside by the United Nations with a view to encouraging world commitment to food production and security. Musa Babali reports that Nigeria joins the world in marking the day, showcasing major achievements recorded under the Buhari-led administration.
If you have access to at least 1 square meal a day, then you are not among the over 800 million hungry people the world is housing. The world is concerned about the high rates of poverty, conflict and natural disasters, which made substantial amount of people, including children, lack access to food. And this is why the United Nations is encouraging all member countries to dedicate more resources towards improving food production and climate change mitigation.
In 2017, at least 1.5 billion people suffered from micronutrient deficiencies that undermine their health and lives.
The policy being implemented by this government, according to the record of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, has pushed the country not only to becoming food secured, but also among the world's largest producers of grains, vegetables and fruits.
What is now required is for us to sustain the tempo by providing all the necessary support to our farmers, putting the right infrastructure in place, and encouraging more private investment into the sector.
If not for the decisive steps taken by the current administration under President Muhammadu Buhari, our nation would have today been faced with greater threat of food insecurity, which would have even threatened our corporate existence as a nation.
The National Agricultural Show was staged by the National Agricultural Foundation of Nigeria as part of activities marking this year's World Food Day in Nigeria. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amosun has debunked rumors making the rounds that he plans to defect from the ruling All Progressives Congress APC to another party on account of the recent primaries. A statement signed by the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy described the news report in a segment of the media as a figment of imagination of the writers. The statement adds that Senator Ibikunle Amosun cherishes and values the judgment and sense of justice of the President Muhammadu Buhari, reiterating that the governor stands for equity, justice and fairness over his own ambitions. Kano State Government has filed a criminal case against an online publication for defamation of character. The lawsuit is following the release of a video footage of Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. A statement signed by the Kano State Commissioner of Information, Youth and Culture, Malam Mohammed Garba, says the Office of the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice is challenging the video, which he says is cloned and manipulated. The video, which had gone viral, is said to have discredited the image of the governor. The statement debunks the allegation that the governor of Kano State did not receive any gratification of $5 million or any amount from any person or body. While the state government is taking legal action, Kano State government wishes to assure the people of Kano that the governor will remain focused in adding value to the lives of Kano indigents. Time now to join Michael Olaleye in our Lagos Network Center for more reports. Michael?
Thank you, Joseph, and welcome to Lagos. The World Bank Board of Directors has approved and committed $120 million to the third phase of the Regional Disease Surveillance Systems Enhancement REDIS project in West Africa. World Bank Senior Health Specialist John Paul Clark disclosed these at the Technical Subcommittee meeting of the REDIS, coordinated by the West African Health Organization in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakuya has details.
The Regional Disease Surveillance Systems Enhancement REDIS project, financed by the World Bank, was set up to cover all West African countries in the wake of gaps shown by the 2014 Ebola outbreak in the region. The project, focused on strengthening disease preparedness, surveillance, and response, has successfully completed 2 phases in 7 countries, including Nigeria, where it curtailed the spread of Lassa fever.
We need to invest in the health surveillance systems that are able to detect at the community level as well as at the clinic level anomalies or things that are unusual events that may signal the possible arrival of an epidemic in the country.
Gathered in this hall are health professionals from 15 West African countries and Mauritania. They are to adopt workable strategies for the implementation of the third phase of the REDIS project.
For us to come together, we share experiences, we identify some challenges, and where there are challenges, we want to see how we can restructure.
The bottom line is really to strengthen veterinary services in particular, so that they can meet their obligation regarding early warning, regarding early detection of any outbreaks.
Participants are hopeful that the outcome of the meeting will help improve border surveillance for better management of outbreaks. The Regional Disease Surveillance Systems Enhancement Project is a World Bank's flagship investment in both health security and One Health agenda. It is currently providing credit and grants to 11 countries in Africa. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapoya, NTA News.
Okpaifa Olasukomi is the 2018 Martina Teacher of the Year. He emerged from over 641 entries received from public and private schools across Nigeria after an intensive selection process. Dotun Ogunyemi has details.
Okpaifa Olasukomi, an English teacher at the Government Day Secondary School, Karu, Abuja, is a 2008 English graduate of the Lagos State University. He is the 2018 Martina Teacher of the Year after a keenly contested race among 11 other finalists. His teaching philosophy is meeting his students at their level.
The students actually know something, so you need to move from where they are to where they are supposed to be. It's not the battle between the knowledgeable and the ignorant. The student knows something. Even if it's ordinary shaku-shaku, the teacher should be able to know how to use shaku-shaku to teach any subject. You must be contemporary, you must know it.
The Martina Teacher of the Year, an initiative of the Nigerian Breweries Felix Ohiwiri Education Trust Fund, is one of the few occasions in recent times that rewards and recognizes the important role of teachers in the society. Introduced in 2015, the initiative has impacted over 30,000 students, built 417 classrooms, 30 libraries, and affected 44 communities in Nigeria, having produced 3 previous winners. Managing Director, Nigerian Breweries PLC, says the company hopes to inspire the nation and bring back the glory of teaching.
When you do these kind of initiatives, what you want is that it promotes teachers and schools to raise the level and to participate. And what we see, it is happening. There's more incorporations, and we're very happy about that.
26 state champions went home with 500,000 naira each. 750,000 naira went to the second runner-up. First runner-up got 1 million naira, while the winner received a check of 1 million naira and will receive 1 million for the next 5 years, in addition to the furnishing of 6 classroom blocks in his school. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
Dangote Cement PLC has launched yet another brand to its growing portfolio. The Block Master Cement, according to the company, provides premium quality at a premium and affordable price. Dotun Ogunyemi again was at the launch in Lagos and now reports.
The launch of the Dangote Blockmaster Cement is to meet the yearnings of Nigerians for better quality and stronger blocks, especially for story buildings, deckings and other construction purposes. Group Managing Director, Dangote Cement PLC, says the new brand is a product of years of intense research and approved by builders nationwide.
A winner, and that is why we're very happy to come public with it. Generally, you can use it for almost the same thing as the highest grade, but when you begin to go for multi-level structures, decking, columns, then you have to use something like Blockmaster. They will want you to give them a premium product at the price of the normal product. There's nothing more than that.
Attesting to its quality and strength, engineers, builders and block molders say its rapid setting within an hour, especially during raining season, makes it ideal for the Nigerian market.
It's very okay. It's good. Even when I produce my block, I supply the block within 24 hours without breakages.
Dangote Cement used the opportunity to urge Nigerians to patronize the brand in order to minimize the menace of building collapse in the country. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
You are still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt. It's all good. Hollandia.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Activate your life, be who you want to be. Yeah. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
Glad to have you back in Abuja. Now let's head straight to business news. Headline inflation increases in September, 0.05 higher than August rate, just as Nigerian equities market erases Monday losses. Amina Nujem has more on business news.
Hello and welcome to Business News. The Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, increased by 11.28% year-on-year in September of 2018. This is 0.05% points higher than the rate recorded in August of 2018, which is 11.23%. The headline index increased by 0.84% in September of 2018, down 0.21 points from the rate recorded in August of 2018 being 1.05%. On a month-on-month basis, the urban index rose 0.86% in September of 2018, down 0.14% from 1.00% recorded in August, while the rural index also rose 0.82%. In other business developments, the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma says the federal government 2017 budget recorded an 86% implementation. This was disclosed on the sidelines of the just concluded 2018 annual meeting of the International Monetary Fund (IMF) and World Bank meeting in Bali, Indonesia. He said although the performance of the ministries and agencies of the federal government varied, it was generally an impressive record. And from the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the equities market on Tuesday saw trading close in positive territory, appreciating 0.95% to close at 32,722.18 basis points, while market capitalization stood at 11.946 trillion naira. Its year-to-date currently stands at minus 14.44%. That wraps up Business News. I am Amina Nushain.
And the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) is poised to make Nigeria one of the top oil and gas suppliers in the world through the company's Train 7 project. This was at a training workshop for experts in the oil and gas industry holding in Abuja. Muplang Dakok reports.
The Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) is committed to the utilization of the country's goods and services by developing local content. This workshop is therefore to sensitize stakeholders on the opportunities in the reframed NLNG Train 7. The Train 7 project is an additional liquefied natural gas production line which will expand the country's production to 30 million tons a year, as well as employ more than 10,000 people. But the managing director of the NLNG, Tony Atta, and other experts say Nigerians will have to position themselves properly through capacity building to be part of the huge project.
We boldly step into the future, defining our next 30 years on the back of growth, increasing our capacity by 35% from 22 million tons. As a country,
we'll be able to add another 78 million tons, which will raise Nigeria's
export capacity of LNG. That should be able to bring us back to number 3 or at worst number 4.
We expect that the Train 7 project will provide a platform to expand existing businesses and create ample opportunities for new businesses.
The 2-day workshop is expected to spur Nigerians to participate in oil and gas and identify local supply chain capacities and capabilities, while the project will integrate oil-producing communities and foster international collaboration. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
The Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, has won the 2018 Best Improved Airport in Safety in Africa by the Airport Council International Africa Region. The outstanding award for safety was presented to Abuja Airport Manager Mahmoud Sani at the 27th ACI Africa Annual General Assembly Regional Conference in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. The conference, which is to end on the 19th of this month, is considering the challenges of safety and security in African airports, issues and perspectives. The All Progressives Congress has assured its party members and the rest of the public that the party will continue to pursue rule of law and internal democratic ethics in all electoral processes of the country towards the 2019 general elections and beyond. National Publicity Secretary of APC, Lanre Issa Onilu, said it is in line with this that the party, immediately after the conduct of its primary across the country, set up National Primary Appeals Committee to address all grievances and issues that came out from the primaries, especially from its flag bearers. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Days to the submission of names of candidates by all political parties to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The APC is working round the clock to meet the deadline for the submission of its candidate for the general elections.
The party will do the right thing. That's why we have an appeal committee, which has been meeting for nearly 1 week now, and the report is coming in. It's a party that ensures that the rule of law plays at the end of the day.
In the light of these, a concerned group from Niger State, who spoke on behalf of the 3 elected senatorial candidates of the October 2nd APC primary in the state, have pledged their unalloyed commitment to the rule of law and equity and justice has been pursued by their party, the APC, in its inclusive democratic culture.
Our leaders participated in the senatorial primary elections in Niger State, monitored by the panel sent by the National Working Committee of the party.
It is not about winning primary elections, it's about winning general election. What purpose does this have to please a candidate that will not represent the party in the National Assembly?
They, however, urged the party and its leadership to hold onto that principle of equity, fairness, and justice in recognizing the results now that the party is ready to present its candidates. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Former Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fashe, made good his promise this afternoon to be guest of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The former governor arrived at EFCC office at about midday, accompanied by Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and former Aviation Minister Femi Fani-Kayode. Fashe, in a customized T-shirt, came to the Commission's office with a backpack. Ayo Fashe is still with the EFCC as at the time of this newscast. Let's take you to Akwa Ibom State, where the state governor, Udom Emmanuel, has urged local government chairmen in the state to ensure effective implementation of policies and programs of government. He said this while distributing utility vehicles to the local government chairmen. Kelvin Samuel has the rest of the story.
Distribution of 31 brand new Prado Jeep to local government chairmen across the state by the governor is to ensure quick response to issues and effective delivery of dividends of democracy at the grassroots. Presenting the vehicle to the chairman on behalf of the state governor, the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Udo Ekwenyon, says it is to ensure maximum productivity and assure them of government commitment to the welfare of all Akwa Ibom people.
These project vehicles
is in recognition of the need by His Excellency for the grassroots governance. But most of the chairmen has embarked on sustainable projects. It is necessary to encourage them to do more.
The chairman of Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Frank Achibon, thanked Governor Udom Emmanuel's-led administration for purposeful leadership.
We are living testimonies to the fact that the grassroots has been better energized since he came on song as a governor.
I'm very delighted for the sense of responsibility that has been expressed by His Excellency the Governor.
The event featured the official handing over of the vehicles to the recipients. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. Suleiman in Kaduna brings us the next set of reports.
Welcome. The multi-billion naira Kano Independent Power Project is to be ready for electricity generation. The project is expected to provide additional 8 megawatts of electricity in Kano metropolis. Abdullahi Mustafa reports that this will help in reviving collapsed industries.
The 14 billion naira Kano State Hydroelectricity Project, TIGA, started in 2014 with expected completion period of 3 years. However, this could not be actualized due to paucity of funds at the initial stage. Work on the 8 megawatt plant is now back in full swing. All civil works have been completed while the electromechanical component is at advanced stage of completion. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, who was on an assessment visit to the site, was informed by the contractor and project consultant that installation of turbines will be completed before the end of November. The governor, who was satisfied with the progress made so far, is optimistic that the additional power to be generated by the plant will improve economic activities in Kano State.
So that our mega city will be like any other mega city in the world.
Dr. Ganduje assured of his administration's continued commitment towards executing development projects in the nooks and corners of the state. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And Jigawa State Government has taken delivery of more relief materials courtesy of the Presidential Committee on Flood Relief and Rehabilitation. Awal Muhammad Kazauri reports that representative of chairman of the committee, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, handed over the materials in Dutse for onward delivery to flood victims in the state.
Jigawa State is one of the worst hit areas by flood this year, resulting in the displacement of many and thousands of hectares of farmlands washed away by the disaster. While some of the victims have returned to their localities, many are still taking refuge at various IDP camps. The items donated by the Presidential Committee on Flood Relief and Rehabilitation include bags of foodstuff, mattresses, mosquito nets, and other household materials.
We are flagging up this distribution of those materials to the intended beneficiaries through the Executive Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency of Jigawa State.
We are very grateful. All the commodities brought here will be distributed to the victims affected by this flood.
It will be recalled that the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has made similar donation to the state. From Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
You are still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after these messages.
And just before we take those messages, as Suleiman has just said, let's just take this particular report, because Nigeria and Algeria have resolved to work together to actualize the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline and Trans-Saharan highway projects, among others, to boost the economies of the two nations and Africa at large. They made this commitment at the 4th Binational Commission meeting in Algiers, the Algerian capital. Foreign Desk correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports.
Rosemary Chukuma and Alaba Akintola Monday at the ongoing Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires, Argentina, won gold. And
Nigeria and Algeria share formidable relations that have seen the two nations working together on issues of common interest. They set up a binational commission in 2001, which has met 3 times until this 4th meeting, which is holding in Algiers. Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema is leading Nigeria's delegation to the meeting, where commitments are again revisited in key areas such as trade, peace and security, water, agriculture, energy, as well as communication. Apart from discussing over a wide range of issues, the representatives of the two countries signed agreements on water management and standardization that are key to economic relations.
We believe that these projects are game changers for not just Algeria and Nigeria, but continent. So, for instance, we have the basis of a gas pipeline. It'll be it's going to give our gas exporters an opportunity to access the European market more directly, and other areas like trade and industry.
And I ask all the businessmen to visit Algeria. I'm talking about the Nigerian, the Algerian to visit Nigeria. There's a lot of possibility. From Algiers in Algeria, Makut Samuel Macham, NTA News.
Now, let's take you to Dubai, because the Gulf Information Technology Exhibition is not just a spectacle for dazzling attendees with modern technologies, but also an avenue for countries and organizations to interact and appraise abilities of new technologies in solving human needs. Nigeria joined in this revolution to show how application of new technologies can help countries entrench good governance.
Cybercrimes, fake news and fake data are some global challenges brought about by information and communication technology, ICT. Even the World Wide Web inventor is worried about the wrong use of the internet and says he's reinventing the World Wide Web. Well, emerging ICTs such as artificial intelligence and blockchain are now providing solutions to these issues. For instance, with the blockchain technology, data records are secured from illegal alteration. At the Gulf Information Technology Exhibition Forum, discussions border on how countries can adopt and modify these new technologies to suit their specific needs.
Like Open Affairs Commission, where companies are being registered, blockchain technology is very applicable. You can always go online and print your documents without tampering with the original content of it, like NACO, like Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. These are some federal government institutions, particularly in education, that we think can also adopt blockchain technology and benefit from it.
We have to have sort of data transparency and how data is being used, that you own your own data. And I think that blockchain is one of the key sort of cornerstones to make that actually happen.
It's still the input, transactions are using blockchain.
In sports, Nigeria moved up to 9 points in Group E of 2019 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers after a 3-2 away victory over Libya this evening in Tunis ahead of their next game against South Africa, who are on 8 points following their goalless draw with Seychelles. Kenema Budike has more on sports update.